Hello, Abigail here with another wax reading. This wax reading is what your guides want you to know. So, we're going to be exploring messages from your guides. This can be any kind of member of your guide team. It can be spirit guides, it can be spirit groups, it can be ancestors, it can be angels. We're opening up the floor to pretty much anybody and everyone. But let's do an energy check in just so you can know if this pile is for you. We'll set the candle to the side and we will get to the energy check-in. Who is this candle wax reading for? Okay, woo. So starting off, we have Nine of Swords, the Death card, Queen of Swords, Two of Coins, Knight of Wands. This is for anyone who is feeling especially anxious right now or wondering when transformation is going to finish. This is also, and this hat comes through in a lot of my readings, but this is like, these are for some people who have like a very set idea of what they want, but are not quite where they would like to be. With the Two of Coins and the Knight of Wands, I'm also sensing that this group wants to know information about finances, also wants to know about timing. So if you want information about finances, timing, if you were ready for this dark night of the soul or this time of transition to be over, this reading is for you. Pull a couple more cards just to make sure that we've got all the information that we need. Yeah. So yeah, this group of people, you've also had to walk away from something recently. You might be dealing with financial issues. You might be struggling to know where to put your resources or where to go next. With the Hierophant, some of you are definitely in some kind of position where you are learning and growing and actively trying to connect to broader sources of knowledge, whether through academics or through spiritual growth or just through like self-education. This group is a group of people that like never stops improving themselves. And yeah, you're a bit tired for sure. But if this sounds like you, also, like I said, you probably had to walk away from something recently. Yeah. Nine of Wands, feeling like you've been struggling too much or things aren't changing fast enough is coming through. Wondering if or when something you've been investing in is going to work out. Yes, and I wondered if that would come in. Also, there's a desire to know about the future when it comes to like stability and romance and connection and care. So if you fit, oh, and bottom of the deck, Two of Cups. So there's definitely a romantic tinge to this, whether you are single or not. So if you were someone who has been on the struggle bus, if you have had a lot of energy and just shifts and changes going on in your life, this reading is for you. I will take a moment to prep the space for the wax reading, and I'll see you when that is ready. All right, we are back. We have the water, we have the candle. I will light the candle, and we will get into your messages from Spirit and what Spirit wants you to know. Like I said, this can be any energy. This can be the universe. It can be something, someone, or something that you work with intimately. This is a general reading, but if you feel like it applies to you, then it does. And what I go for with these readings is kind of like a 60% like alignment. So if it feels like 60% applies to you, then it applies to you. One moment. I have a small dog demanding to get up. Hey, you want to get up? Nope. Back to the reading. Sorry about that. All right, so starting off, we have the image of a mouse here. It does feel as though a lot of stuff is kind of being hidden from you, and there's a lot of like small things kind of pulling on you in this moment. You know, this is also an indication from Spirit that like maybe there's some stuff that you're not aware of that's happening and it's a bit sneaky. And so this is just a time to like, one second. Let me deal with my dog. Reggie, come here. Come. He is lovely and beautiful and also spoiled rotten. wax on my cloth. Thank you, Reg. Anyways, sorry about that. So there's a lot of stuff being hidden from you. There's a lot of it just feels like a lot of small little things kind of coming through and happening, and there's just chaotic energy also when I'm sitting here and stuff with my dog happens and there's construction outside. There's just a lot of distractions going on in this energy, and it can feel very confusing and it can feel very discombobulating. It also feels like, maybe you're having a little wins here and there, but like the big overarching picture is just not shaping up. And it feels, even the little wins feel a bit exhausting because it doesn't feel interconnected. It feels like, if there's a good thing, it's like, oh, one good thing here and then kind of a good thing there. But it doesn't feel like there's a buildup or like progress over time. And you're just feeling kind of stalled and manipulated, but like tugged hither and yon, if that makes sense. We also have this kind of like man with his arms out, this like little stick man. It feels like you're kind of starfishing on the floor. And spirit is really wanting to recognize that this is what's happening, and that you are feeling this measure of frustration. There's also, interestingly enough, like it's shifting now, but it was like a game console controller. And so also it feels like we're using our escape mechanisms a lot more, which not necessarily bad to like have healthy like ways to decompress, but it's starting to feel like all we have are like these little escapes, and none of the big beautiful things we were hoping for has happened. Now we do have a very voluptuous figure here. They are actually kind of it's giving kind of a more ancestral, almost like tribal or ethnic energy. So I feel like your ancestors are coming in with, let me see what image they're giving me here. We're getting a bird with its wings outstretched. Something is headed your way. There is a bird, an energy, a sign, a symbol headed your way to show you and to indicate that everything is going to work out and be all right. And that these little grievances, these struggles, these things not quite, going the way that you would want them to, all have a purpose, even if it feels very frustrating and kind of discombobulated in the current moment. We also have like kind of like a fetal image here. Your hopes and dreams do definitely feel gestational. Like they're kind of in a place of growth, and stuff is happening, but it's all happening in a place that you can't see it, in a place that isn't like obvious to you. And so a lot of this energy is kind of like, don't give up, stuff is happening behind the scenes. And things are changing, which I know isn't super helpful, especially if we're wanting something more exact. But there's just an overall energy from your spirit team and the spirits and energy around you of being like, all of this is going to accumulate into something that works out in your favor. Also, if you notice, the wax is kind of creating like a little path off to the side. This is an encouragement for you to follow your own unique path. If you are on a path that like isn't like anyone else's and feels very alone, they're saying that this is the right place to be. This is where you are meant to be. This is where you are supposed to be in this energy and in this moment. And so to trust that it will take you to where you need to go. And that even if it feels isolating and alone, it is leading to more connection and more care on the other side. And to not feel discouraged because it has been a lonely, isolating journey. We also have a rooster here. I'm so sorry, guys. The energy is so chaotic today. I've been getting a mountain of spam phone calls for no reason, and the video just cut out because of it. I don't know where it cut out, but we're going to get back to the rooster about you needing to be loud and proud about what you're doing. This is also you needing to promote the work and the business that you are doing and running here, and to make sure that you are promoting yourself. Like, this is not the time to be reticent about what you're doing. Like, obviously, if you have any like, um, things in the works that are kind of complicated and need planning, maybe don't tell people. But when it comes to like promoting something or putting your work out there, this is the time to do it. It is time to push your progress and your agenda forward and to really dig in. Also, I think kind of going back to like phone turning off, my dog, like being a little chaotic and all of these things, understanding that this is the energy of now. But I think that this kind of energy is also going to be a sign that things are about to shift. When stuff starts to feel like too much, when things start to come over the plate a little too quickly, when the chaos heightens, this is a sign that the energy is about to break through into something new, into some kind of change. So while it is frustrating and deeply annoying, do see it as a sign that you are making progress, that you are about to have a breakthrough, that things are about to change, that you are about to meet the people that you need to meet. Um, we also have this little like gummy teddy bear here. There is connection and care coming through. Your guides want you to know that like you are going to have friends to share your victories with, and that if you desire children or if you desire a family with this kind of, this symbol of kind of like comfort and home, that is also very possible and attainable, and is attainable in the next couple of years, even though in this moment it's kind of like there's no proof that this is going to happen. We do, interestingly enough, quickly following this bear, we have a vulture's head. You are going through a moment of transformation and rebirth and growth and change. And know that even though it can feel stark, even though the symbolism can feel gnarly, this is leading you to better things. We also have a figure here sitting, contemplating. The time that you take to yourself and you take to organize is just as important as the time that people see you being productive. Also, it's kind of like sitting at something. So maybe a good idea if you work alone or you have projects you're working on by yourself, to take yourself to a place that makes you feel productive, like maybe a coffee shop or the library would be a good idea to kind of get yourself out of the house. We have another bird and it looks very almost like a cave drawing or like indigenous art. And its mouth is wide open. You need to be, I know you're like, I'm not getting much from the universe, and there might be an implication or like a need, feeling like a need to like pull back and be like, oh, maybe I should ask for less. And the answer to this is no, you need to ask for more. Your dreams could be bigger, your dreams could be broader. We have a flying squirrel here, which I think is really cute. You are going to have to leap. And if you are currently leaping and you're like, or you have leapt, which I think some of you have, and you're waiting for your landing to like bring in the abundance that you were hoping when you leapt, know that that is coming, and that risk that you took is going to pay off. It's just a part of this transformational process. It is a part of the universe pushing you to, and your spirits and your guides all pushing you to ask for more, to demand more, to desire more. Um, Not getting your desires met isn't an indication to back off of them. It is an indication to refine them, hone them, and even sometimes raise that standard. We also have three separate dots forming here. It really reminds me of the card in the tarot, the Three of Cups. There's also a push here to connect with others, to find collaborations, to reach out. If some of you, I'm getting a lot of you are like run your own business or want to run your own business or have a hobby on the side. A part of this progressing is you finding other people who do the same thing or who can help you do more of the thing that you are doing. So your progress is also wrapped up in finding like-minded people. We have a toad here, and it's giving stop caring about what other people think of you and your progress. Stop paying attention to other people's progress and success, and to focus on your own. It's your journey, it's your story. Also, you don't know what else someone else is going through. So it's kind of like mind your own business and don't like let other people's progress move on and like get in your way. Like don't use that to discourage yourself. We have an antelope here. No, it's a mountain goat. We have a mountain goat here. Yes, this is a precarious position. Yes, you are working in extremes, but keep going is what I'm hearing. You are almost to the other side. You are almost to the point where there is going to be a breakthrough, where you are going to get the things you've been hoping for, specifically when it comes to kind of long-term future planning. If you've been hoping for a new job, or you've been, really, really wanting to meet someone that you can build a life with, that is coming through. It is going to be happening sooner than you think, but also remembering that these things run on a timeline. And so, like, one thing might happen that is a part of this story. It's not all going to necessarily happen at once, especially if we think of the mountain goat kind of leaping from point to point. We have to get from point A to point B to point, you get the point. And we also have a kneeling figure here. Your prayers are going to be answered. They might need to be honed a little bit, they might need to shift over time as you grow and mature, but know that your ancestors and your guides and everybody, they are listening to you. You are being heard. This isn't just falling on deaf ears. Um, Now we're getting the shape of a dog, but it's kind of reminding me, I can't remember the name, but there is a black dog that runs across a lot of mythologies that can be a sign of fate or death. And I don't necessarily think that this is like death. It's also now morphing kind of into a cat. There are going to be signs and symbols on your way that are related to animals. Whether a black cat crosses your path, which I personally think is good luck, a black cat crosses your path, or you see a black dog, some kind of black animal is going to be coming into your space. I'm also getting a squirrel. And when it comes to wild animals, it's specifically wild animals that are like an unusual color. So, like a black squirrel or a white squirrel or a really vibrant bird, something distinctive. These signs are going to be showing up right before something you've really been wanting starts. And I want to be clear about the starts. Like, it's not all of your dreams coming true, but it is like the beginning of things getting better, the beginning of you starting to attain stuff. We have two separate figures here. We have one creature and another. Trying to get an idea of what the second creature is. The first creature is definitely like a little lamb. I think the second one is actually like an alligator. So there is a bit of a warning here that there might be someone in your circle who is a bit predatory. So please, be careful. Do not fall for any scams. If you are struggling and you really are hoping for like a kind of a breakthrough, just know that if it is too good to be true, it is. Like, there are good things that will come your way, but like the good things that don't require anything, that also don't have any um kind of security behind them, that is not it. You are being tricked. So be very cautious. Especially when you're feeling a little like your back's up against a wall, not to make any rash decisions. We've got a little weasel here. It's also reminding you that you don't need to share everything with everyone, and um, omitting information is also acceptable. There's some people who just don't need to know your business, and you can kind of, give them a half answer sometimes. Like, you don't need to explicitly share everything, especially if you feel unsure or unsafe with someone. When it comes to jobs and these things, you need to take the I'm hearing very clearly, you need to take the opportunities that present themselves, especially when there are no accompanying red flags. If the opportunity is there and you're not getting any negative information about it, then take it, do it. This is a step and a stepping stone on your path forward, especially with this little trail we're taking towards your goals. Is it the ultimate end all be all? Probably not, but it is definitely getting you closer and taking you closer to where you need to be. Also, kind of in the same vein, but like, if you're invited to something, if a event or opportunity offers itself up to you and there's minimal effort on your part specifically, because with this chaotic energy, we don't want to overspend. But if there's minimal energy, you're just invited, you're just going as a guest, or everything is set up for you to do something, go do it, because this is going to lead to you either meeting someone very, very important or making a connection that's really important down the road. Now, this could be love, it could be work. It's kind of just saying, there are good things coming your way and heading your way, when you take these opportunities, when you engage in the energy, when you don't, hold yourself back or keep yourself back from these kind of random opportunities to connect with other people. They are going to lead to more. The important part is just to kind of participate in them authentically and not have a bunch of expectations, but to know that there is some benefit to you in doing these things. Um, Now I have a figure with their back to us and their kind of legs out. They're really kind of being thoughtful. This is a good time while things are not quite moving forward and you're kind of in the midst of things, to really get clear on what you actually want going forward and if it actually aligns with you. Some of the delay is coming from your guides not being completely sold on the path forward that you think you want. And it's not saying that your hopes and dreams aren't valid, but just that maybe there is more for you than you were desiring, or there is a different way you can get the same thing that will be better for you. And so take some time to consider, what and how you want to move forward in the next little bit, because your guides are definitely sending this message of like, take some time to get really clear. And once the clarity comes, they're like, we will take that clarity and run with it. We also have a boot here, or a shoe. Some of you need to get foot massages, especially if you're a Pisces. Fun fact, Pisces rules the feet, and a lot of times Pisces moon specifically, but Pisces in general, can store a lot of their tension in their feet. So for some of you, just a foot massage or a foot bath, something to kind of take pressure off of it. Some of you might have issues with your feet. So if you have those, please get them looked into. It's a part of this broader story and about you taking care of yourself and preparing yourself for a future where you are needing to be pretty active, not necessarily on your feet, but just ready to go. The phrase like marching orders keeps popping up in my head. Like, you are going to receive marching orders, and so you need to be ready to get up and go. Um, we keep getting these kind of trailing things. This time is about following the little things, about taking in the little signs, going to places that you feel drawn to. Doesn't mean that everything is a major event for you, but it does mean that you're kind of like you're on a little treasure hunt and you don't know what the treasure is. And so definitely follow your intuition. Go to places that you enjoy to kind of raise your energy and bring that kind of energy of enjoyment into your life, so that you can call that in when it comes to your manifestations, for sure. I want to ask specifically about relationship and connection and romance specifically, since that did come up with the Two of Cups at the very end of our check-in. Yeah, we're getting a figure here. There's definitely a person for you out there. I am getting a sense that they are also going through their own stuff, and that's part of the reason why you haven't connected. Um, I'm also hearing that they might be in a situationship or connected to someone right now, and so that needs to clear before you guys meet. And that's kind of why there's a bit of a delay. If you are frustrated by that, you can call out to their spirit guides or your spirit babies and ask them to maybe send some messages for you. Be like, hey, someone else is out there waiting for you. Maybe let this thing go that's not really benefiting you or giving you the longer term stuff, because it feels like both of you want something longer term for sure. As far as timing, I'm feeling with this pile, it is very much up to the universe and up to, which I know frustrating, right? And up to kind of the predestined path that you are on. But the more that you feed into yourself, the more that you care for yourself, the more that you nurture yourself, the more that you listen to your intuition, the faster your dreams and desires are going to come through. And spirit really wants you to like attune yourself to this energy and listen to it. We also have a sock puppet, which I think is kind of funny, which I think kind of comes back to kind of like being able to tell what is real and what is not real in this time. Some people are going to be parroting and saying things that aren't necessarily their opinion. and giving you advice that isn't healthy. So, one of the messages Spirit wants to give to you is like, please, at this point, take your own advice and listen more to your intuition than to others. Because a lot of folks are projecting, a lot of folks are being silly, goofy, and not really thinking about the implications of what they're saying. We also have a little muskrat here. They build little mud homes and stuff. And, this is like, even if you don't have the tools necessarily right now to build the home that you would like to have, start building what you can in this moment to welcome in that energy. So if you're in an apartment and you're alone, decorate the apartment the way you would want your home to feel, so that when you do, end up in a situation where you have the opportunity to build with someone, you already have tools and materials and your own voice when it comes to this stuff. We're also getting this beautiful tree here. You are going to have time, no matter what age you're at, you are going to have the time and the energy to build a legacy and to build something that lasts. So do not think that, you've missed the boat, that you're too old, that nothing's ever going to happen, because it is, and it's actively growing, and your ancestors are on your side when it comes to this. Let's see. I'm feeling like we're almost done with the energy here. We'll see if one or two last messages come through. Yeah, I'm getting an eye. Someone is watching you, someone is surveilling you. I don't know that this is necessarily like a stalker, but like go through your Instagram and like maybe purge house or your social media. Also, like I said, be careful what you're sharing, because some people don't have your best interest at heart. So like keep your projects to yourself. Don't share them until it's time to make them public. Work on them and tell who you need to tell, but like be cautious. Someone doesn't really want you to succeed, who is like watching you and maybe closer than they should be based on their intentions. We'll blow this out. I feel like that energy is moving away. Beautiful smoke. So, yeah, I know this energy might have felt a little scattered, and it definitely was. Like I was having my own issues on my end. But I do feel like a lot of stuff is changing, and most of what, I was getting from the universe is to keep on and to keep pushing forward and to do the little things, knowing that the big things are going to come in sooner than you think, especially if you do the little things, especially if you focus on stuff that seems really small and simple, like maybe like getting a weekend routine, or shifting the furniture in your house a little bit. Those little things are really going to make a huge difference. Oh, I mentioned angels at the beginning, and we have an angelic figure. You are being protected, you are being guided. There is an angel who has your back. I'm hearing for some of you it is Uriel. You can look them up to see what they rule, but you have some really strong powers at your back, and right now you are definitely being tested. But these tests are in order to help you prepare for a rather intense future. Not intense in a bad way, but as in like once your manifestations start coming in, it is going to be a lot, and it's going to happen very quickly. Like obviously, like I said earlier, that it's going to be a series of events, but those events are going to pile up pretty fast. And so, get ready to buckle up and like prepare yourself. This is also, I'm hearing, specifically to do health checkups and stuff right now, because in the future you will not have time to, or you will be so busy with other stuff that can be buried. So if you need to get your yearly exam, or if you have been putting something off, now is the time to make that appointment, especially since some places there's a pretty long wait time. We have this figure that looks like they're very bulky, and they have like a shield and a sword. It is time to be a warrior. It is time to tap into ancient ancestral energy and to really doggedly go for what you want. Like a part of this is also a challenge for you to just say, screw it, I want what I want, and I'm going to go get it. But you can't do that until you've gotten clear with what you want. So make sure to take that time first. And then lastly, we have this kind of little infant figure. If some of you want children and you feel like it's a little too late, it's not. And if you feel like you're not going to find a partner, that's also not true. They are coming in. This is an encouragement to tap into your spirit baby and your future children's energy, which is something that I actually personally work on as a medium. So, tap into those energies. Listen to your instincts if you are feeling down or hopeless about your future and your ability to build. Know that this reading specifically is saying that you still have time and you have the guidance and protection that you are going to need in order to build these things. Finally, we have this kneeling figure holding something that is giving off smoke. Meditation, prayer, connecting with your ancestors, all of these things are going to help you connect better with your future and move your timelines forward. So I would encourage you, if you haven't yet, to connect to your spirituality and your kind of life force as a way to manifest the life that you truly want and to make it through a time which genuinely is pretty chaotic because the energy was so strong today. Anyways, I hope this was helpful, and I hope that in spite of the chaos that you were able to get some good information and some hope and some encouragement and some guidance from this. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, you can pop them below in the comments. I also do readings of all kinds, tarot, astrology, wax readings. You can find those on my website. You can contact me on Instagram or through email. There's the information below under this video. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. I hope the chaos is treating you well. And I know that we are coming to a point where we are very soon going to be moving past this chaos and into more stable and calm water. But this chaos is creating and forming the person that you need to be in order to have capacity for a different and a more abundant change of pace. Anyways, my loves, I wish you many blessings, and I hope that this was a helpful reading, and I will speak to you later. Bye.